Alright. What's good, y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to the story mode, specifically another Soul Ramble mode, because, again, we're still kind of just going over general thoughts and things like that for the post-direct stuff, because now that everything's died down, and now that the Nintendo Treehouse lives are done for the time being, and we're not getting any more news until later this month in regards to Mario Kart World, we're just kind of sitting on all of this information now and all of this gameplay to really soak things in and things like that. But I wanted to talk about this before I forgot, right? Because, if I don't write things down, I will forget easily. That's just how I operate. But the thing is that it's super weird that Smash had absolutely zero mention, right? Like, here's the thing. There's a couple of games that I'm truly shocked didn't get, any form of, mention or ports or anything like that. Specifically, like Luigi's Mansion 3, Animal Crossing New Horizon, and most importantly, Smash Ultimate. The other two, fine, whatever. But, even then, it's kind of weird that they didn't get any form of, mention of updates or anything like that. But Smash not getting a Switch 2 version or some form of mentioned update or anything like that is incredibly strange, considering it is easily one of their highest selling IPs, one of their most important projects that they have. Smash Ultimate is so incredibly important to the franchise, and so this not being a thing for them, that there being no Switch 2 edition for Smash, is incredibly weird. It is insanely weird, right? So that's kind of where I'm at right now, because I did do a video earlier, a couple weeks ago, essentially, talking about how there was no chance in hell that they didn't do a Switch 2 edition or something for Smash, because this game is too important. And here's my thing. I would have been totally fine if we didn't get a Switch 2 edition for Smash. If it just got some kind of a port, maybe with a couple of updates here and there, maybe a couple of what are the stickers called? The spirits included, maybe some other spirits that we haven't seen yet or anything like that. Maybe they could have done something like that, but no, man. No mention of Smash at all. And it's what? This is one of your flagships. If there was ever a console seller game, it's Smash. If people were on, there were less people expecting a new Smash than there were people expecting Smash to have some form of mention in this direct, and it got neither of those things, right? Now, of course, at the very least, because of what's happening with very specific situations, right? Again, in my previous video regarding Smash, I was talking about things more franchises getting proper representation, more updated movesets for very outdated characters like Mario, like Sonic, like Link, and things like that. I was thinking, there were still some fix-ups that needed to happen, either going into an updated Smash or into a Smash 6, right? In the case of, this not being a thing, is there potentially some form of a Smash 6 on the way? It's super hard to say, especially because, the secret project... Sakurai, you demon. The secret project that Sakurai was talking about was Kirby Air Ride. Here's the thing, right? The thing with Sakurai is that he apparently, I didn't really, maybe if you want to correct me on this, if you're watching this and you know all the details, please feel free to correct me. I would love to be updated on this, right? But to my understanding, Sakurai hasn't been working with HAL Laboratories in some time now. Sakurai has not been with that company with Sora. Was it Sora Unlimited or HAL Laboratories? One of the two. He has not been working with that company, even though he started it for ages now. So, it's been a while, but there was a very specific reason as to why they made sure that we saw in that Kirby Air Ride trailer that this game was directed by Sakurai, by Masahiro Sakurai. So it's okay, cool, awesome. This is the secret project you mentioned after your time with the YouTube channel, the time with all the secrecy in the videos and stuff like that. This is what you guys are working on in the background, and that's really cool. That's awesome. I'm a big fan of Kirby Air Ride. I didn't play it on the GameCube per se, but I did get it late, like super. Ouch! I hit my hand on the desk. That really hurt. I got it super late in its lifetime and got it on the Wii, or got it on GameCube, obviously, but I was able to, play it on the Wii because of backwards compatibility, and I really enjoyed my time with that game. But now we're getting another Kirby Air Ride game. Is it this year or next year? It's one of the two. I'll check the trailer's gonna be playing over and over again on the screen, so we'll know for sure. But we have little to no information on this, but I'm hyped for it. But that's the thing. There's no way in hell there's another Smash game also going on while they were working on this, right? Because I'm sure that this took a couple of years. Like, bro's been working in the background secretly with HAL Laboratories or Sora Unlimited, one of the two, to work on Kirby Air Riders. So there's no way that a Smash 6 is in development right now, or at least if it is, it's stupid early, which means that we won't be getting it for years. But I don't know, that just seems kind of weird to me, considering the fact that we've already had Smash 5. We've already had, it's weird calling it that, we've already had Smash Ultimate since 2018. It's been 7 years. So it's like, I don't know, like nothing, like no mention of some form of like updated port or anything for Smash. Like, is it because it would take too much work? Is that what it is? Like, and I get it. Like, Smash in of itself, to have a game of such high caliber, of such high quality, of course, making a Switch 2 edition of that would take so much work from the team. It's not even funny, man. Like, all the teams that were involved, Bandai and all of them, it would take forever, to really get, the most out of that game, even though the game in of itself runs perfectly fine. It's not really a problem on that front. But, like, I don't know. It's just strange to me that we just got absolutely nothing in terms of any announcements or changes. And that's really weird because, I don't know. It just kind of, I guess it's a little concerning in regards to the future of Smash. Like, what's going to happen when they put all their focus on Switch 2 and they decide to finally, it's probably going to be a long time. It's usually a very, very, very long time before they do something like this. But eventually they're going to cut online completely for Switch 1 and hope that everybody migrates to the Switch 2, which makes sense. Like, the Switch 2 is capable of literally everything that the Switch 1 is and more. So there's really no reason for them to keep the Switch 1 up and running all that long, especially when, again, we've been on the Switch 1 for 8 years, man. This is like the longest we've been on a console before a new generation ever, in terms of Nintendo, even PlayStation and Xbox. Like, we get those much faster, but this is insane, So, I have to imagine that there's some form of plan in play to see some form of like a Smash 6 or some kind of evolved version of Smash to come afterwards, but it's probably going to be a long time. But like, is that going to happen during this generation even? Is that something we're going to see like super late into the Switch 2's lifetime? I don't know. I guess, to be fair, we got Smash its second year into its lifetime. So, I mean, we haven't even gotten the Switch 2 yet. It's not impossible to believe that in the next big, major Nintendo Direct, like near the holiday season, like November or September, whenever, I think it's September that we usually get those major Directs. It's not impossible to believe that during that Direct, we might see something. But again, if Sakurai's been working on this the whole time, I highly doubt that Smash 6 is anywhere near ready, because I know for a fact that if there's one thing that they're not going to do, especially if Sakurai is still working at the company with them, that they're just going to not have him work. I mean, it's a weird situation. Sakurai said himself, right? Like it would be lovely if Smash were able to continue, but it's kind of hard to see that when that's his baby. And if he's not working on it, then what, who is he passing that mantle to? It's not impossible that they did that, but it's super hard to imagine. So, I don't know where that leaves us. I want to see more Smash eventually, down the line. It doesn't, I want to see an attempt at least. And, Nintendo's all about quality. even if it isn't Sakurai at the helm, it's not like there isn't somebody out there. There isn't some form of soul out there. You see what I did? That cares just as much about this franchise and knows the ins and outs of what kind of development has to go into making as much love and care as they possibly can to craft a game like that, that couldn't possibly take the helm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at, this is a crazy comparison, I know, but you look at Akira Toriyama, and, he passed the mantle of Dragon Ball into essentially something of an apprentice with Toyotaro. And so now that Akira Toriyama is, he's passed away, rest in peace, big man, my goat. It's all down to Toyotaro to see where the story goes next, what kind of transformations we get, what kind of stories we get, what kind of fights we get, how Goku elevates as a character, how Gohan, Vegeta, Piccolo, how everybody elevates as a character. And that's a big mantle, but Toyotaro has proven time and time again that he is very capable of, taking over what his sensei left behind. And that's really, really admirable. So it's not impossible to believe that there could be somebody out there that we don't even know about that maybe has been working so closely next to Sakurai. Maybe there's that one person that was always there with Sakurai that we didn't really know about. Because again, we associate Smash with Sakurai, but it's not like he was the one sole person working on the game. There were so many different elements and things involved that there's probably a number of people that were working very closely with Sakurai that could absolutely take the mantle and make that next Smash game, even if he isn't necessarily there to direct. So it's such a strange position to be in. But so far, no mention of Smash. And hey, you know what? That's okay. If there is no Smash coming, cool. Whatever. It is what it is. I'm very happy that Sakurai's doing what he wants to do and working with his baby again. I can't wait to get my hands on Kirby Air Riders if I can get it. Oh god, these tariffs are gonna kill us, man. This situation is so bad right now. So bad. It's so bad. But we'll play things by ear. We'll have to see how things play out. But I would love to see Smash 6 if it could happen, if Sakurai is willing to finally put down the pen and pass it over to, one of the next players in line. I'm game. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have to see how things play out. But as of right now, no mention of Smash. Somebody, I'm not even going to bring that up. I'll let you guys talk about it. You know exactly what I was going to say, but I'm going to leave it alone. So for now, I'm passing the mic over to you guys, and I want you guys to tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Do you find it strange that we didn't get any news in regards to Smash? Is it strange to you that with a brand new console like this one, after 7-8 years of Smash, one of their biggest IPs, we didn't hear anything? Or is this right up your alley? This is exactly what you expected. Smash was never going to be a thing in this direct, and it may not even be a thing going forward because Smash Ultimate was the last one, and we can just not worry about it anymore. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I'm always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I would like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone. So, thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!